Hey everyone, my name's Holly. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I have been studying abroad in England for the past 4.5 months and my time here is coming to a close. So I wanted to discuss a little bit of a life update and explain why I decided to come home early for my study abroad trip. So I guess you need a little backstory in order to understand fully what's going on. So I was accepted to study abroad in Chester, England at the University of Chester from January 2019 to July 2019. That's when my trip was originally booked. That's how long I thought I needed here. And I was so excited to come. I had never left the country before. I'd never left home before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd never moved out. So it was going to be a crazy experience. So I packed up in January, I moved here, and if you saw my vlogs from my very first week, you know it was a little bit of a rough start. And actually, I was pretty much ready to go home. But the first 2 weeks, I'd say I was ready to just turn around and come back. But of course, it slowly got better, and I'm really glad I stayed. And now that I'm about to go home, I'm really sad to leave all of the friends that I've made and all of that. But still, you need to know, why did I decide to leave early? So I was originally supposed to be here until July. Now I knew that my school term ended in June. Officially, that's when the exam dates ended, was June 6th, I believe. And I knew this when I booked my tickets to come home. But in my mind, I was thinking, this is how rationally I thought. I knew that the accommodation that I'm staying at, or if you're American, the dorm I was staying at, I was allowed to stay in it until July. So I got done with school in June, but I had until July to move out. And since I'm already paying for the dorm, I just thought, why would I leave early? I could have a whole month of traveling throughout England and just use this as my home base and maybe do day trips, and then I wouldn't have to pay, for a hostel or a hotel, Airbnb, that kind of thing. It kind of made sense in my head. But the longer I was here, the more people I started talking to, especially the international students who I was living with, and I started asking them, like, when are you going home? What are you doing after school ends? And even though a lot of them are technically staying in England until July, a lot of them are either backpacking throughout Europe, going on trips, they have family coming to visit, that sort of thing. So I slowly started to dawn on me that I was going to be here in my dorm, probably primarily by myself. I'm definitely capable of traveling around England alone. I traveled quite a few places by myself, even out of the country, but it's not something that I really enjoy doing. I don't find it, I don't feel 100% comfortable doing it, especially if I was going long distances, and I know my family is not very comfortable with it either, which is understandable, and I want to respect their wishes. So there was another kind of element to it, realizing that no one was going to be around to travel with, that I couldn't travel alone, so essentially, and there would be no one at the dorm. So I would be hanging out alone. Now I have made friends in Chester who are locals, but all of them have lives, they have jobs. I can't expect them to just hang out with me, every day and for 4 weeks. So after that realization, I knew from past experience that sitting in my room lonely is the perfect concoction to end up with homesickness, and I really didn't want to just be sitting here homesick when I knew I had things to do back home and family waiting for me back home who I would love to see. Eventually, even though I was really in between back and forth, should I stay, should I not, I felt like it was going to be a missed opportunity if I decided to go home, because I would kick myself for giving up 4 weeks of traveling. But the more I travel here, the more I realize that traveling is not everything unless you are traveling with someone that you care about or you really enjoy. It's not as fun by yourself or with strangers. And that's when, I've done primarily a lot of my traveling with people that I didn't even know before I came here, which is fine, and sometimes that's how you make really good friends. But I just didn't really form any really close relationships with anyone that I traveled with. So that just kind of made it another reason, like, well, it's not even that fun to travel with people I don't know that well. And I have a lot going for me back home. I'm about to start my last year of college. I have work I can get back to. I babysit and dog sit for family friends. My family I've missed so much, and I want to catch up with them. I'm in a wedding this summer, and I'm helping out my friend because I'm the maid of honor, and I want to be there for her. So there's just a lot waiting for me back home, and it just really, when I finally came to the decision to come home early, I felt a lot of peace about it. But it is so ironic because the day I actually chose to come home was my birthday, April 23rd, and that week, my birthday week. I felt so happy here. Felt so loved. I had so many friends who made me feel so special, and I just felt like I'd really made connections here. I'd really put roots down in Chester, and then that was the time I decided to go home early. But like I said, I had a lot of peace about it. It's just one of those things that's like a really bittersweet feeling because I don't want to leave, but I'm excited to get home and get to my own bed, get to be comfortable, not live in dirty accommodations, and, you know, have peace and quiet. And yeah, so it's just like one of these things that I'm like, I just couldn't decide. But I think ultimately I did make the right decision for me. And finally, the last reason why I decided to come home earlier than expected was when I sat down and looked at all of the places I've been and all the places I wanted to go. I realized that I've traveled essentially everywhere that I can for right now. Basically, I've been everywhere I can that I have funds for, or that I wouldn't want to, you know, go without a loved one, or by myself, that kind of thing. So I've just been really fortunate to get to travel so much. I really wasn't expecting to travel as much during the actual term school time, and so I've just been so lucky to go so many places, and I'm really satisfied with the amount of places I've been. Of course, there's more places I still need to visit, and I'm dying to, but I'm young. Lord willing, I will come back here, and hopefully I will be with, you know, close friends and family, and we can experience it together and be on more adventures. And it's all the more reason to come back and visit my friends who live here. So that is why I am leaving early. I felt like you guys deserved an explanation because everyone has been so kind in keeping up with my travels. So I wanted to make sure I just let you know what was going on. But definitely stick around. There's going to be so many more videos. I'm definitely going to make like a study abroad tips video. I want to show you the things that I bought that I didn't use and the ones I did. I think that would be helpful. And I would love to talk about how I've changed since I've studied abroad, and not to mention there are definitely still travel videos to come from my last bit of traveling because I'm super behind on the videos. So make sure you stick around. If you want to follow me on social media, that information is below, and as always, if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments below. But that is all for today. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.